Love, peace, light, and blessings, soul family. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, welcome on in. My name is Jazz. If you're one of my A1 Day 1 subscribers, shout out to you spiritual gangsters, you original souls. Thank you for rocking with me. I love y'all. We have a very big download to unpack today. So, as you guys can see, the title today is Unity Consciousness, Combining Covens, Tribing Up, and our beautiful mitochondrial Eve. What's up, Ether? Welcome on in, you guys. Thank you for kicking it with me. Happy Friday. Happy Venus Day. Like I said, though, can y'all just bear with me? I feel like this is, if I'm going to keep it 100, this may not be a reading, you guys, but this is a whole transmission. You hear me? Hey, Pinky's Life. What's up, Caitlin? What's up, Dania? What's up, Gemini? Mando, K, Eternal Love, Empress, Leo, Sage. Thank y'all for kicking it with the kid. So if we don't pull cards, I still promise you the ancestors told me they gonna give y'all what y'all need through the transmission. My sisters have been encouraging me to tap back into the Alpha Theta style channelings, and I've just been so hesitant. Because God, I was about to say scared, right? But I'm here to tell y'all, God did not give us the spirit of fear. He gave us the spirit of conviction. She gave us the spirit of conviction. So I just been hesitant to really just sit there and channel all the way through like that. So please, you guys, when I say bear with me, just bear with me, okay? Because we got a lot to unpack today. So get comfortable. We might be here for a little bit as well. And before we do anything, I want to call them in first before I even start running my mouth, all right? So I just want to call them in. What's up, Amina? I be seeing your motherland on Facebook. I gotta go visit the motherland. She has a whole beach here in Maryland where you guys can go camping. Black women-owned business, you guys. Come through. Like, we are really on the rise, right? So let's bless the transmission first, and then we'll tap in. Thank you, God. Thank you, angels. Thank you, ancestors. Thank you, ascended masters. Mother God, Father God, I ask that you utilize me as a humble vessel. Fill me up with divine love, divine light, divine lessons, divine blessings, divine guidance, and divine intuition for myself and for my beautiful soul family. I ask that you fill us up until we overflow mentally, spiritually, physically, and emotionally. I say to our ancestors, Ayi Bobo to my lineage, and Amun to the originals. Let's tap in, you guys. So, I was triggered recently, and it's crazy how, y'all know I be talking about don't be a smart fool. Don't be a smart fool. Don't have all the knowledge and then not know how to apply it or not know how to walk it like you talk it, right? So I was triggered because Miss Haiti don't look like me, y'all. I don't know if y'all seen, but Miss Haiti right now, the candidate for Miss Haiti don't look like me at all. She's far from the Haitian woman that I'm accustomed to, right? So I was triggered. I was so triggered because on top of Miss Haiti not resembling me as a Haitian woman, she also was talking about, or is going to be talking about, the Loi, the Haitian spirits, the Haitian ancestors, Haitian voodoo. And I was triggered. I was so fucking triggered, you guys. And then the ancestors, when I told them, I was like, why is my heart feeling like this? Like, sis is all the way over there, and I'm all the way the fuck over here, and I should be minding my goddamn business. But I was triggered, and I wanted to own my trigger in that moment. And I went to the ancestors, and I asked the ancestors, why is my heart so heavy? And they said, you rock the flag, but do you read it? What's on that Haitian flag, y'all? Union fait la force. They humbled the Aye Bobo. Union fait la force is what's on the Haitian flag, right? They say you rock that flag, but do you read it? This is how I come to them. This is how they come at me, you guys. It's a whole fucking relationship, right? So I'm here to tell you that race is a whole fucking illusion, you guys. Race is the only reason why this system to this day has the opportunity to work. Race is a huge part of our cognitive dissonance. It is. Because I'm going to tell you, there's only one race, you guys. And don't cancel me yet, black people, because I got a whole download for that ass. When I tell y'all, a bitch was triggered. A bitch was triggered, okay? Like, I was triggered. I had to get it from the ancestors. I had to really, because I'm on this mission of really healing my lineage, man. And I'm trying to do a good job. There we go, Sylvia. The only race, she took it from me, is the human race, okay? And the fact that we don't see this is the only reason why the system works. When you look at cats, you got lions, you got tigers, you got panthers, you got, come on now, you got different species of that one race. When you look at dogs, you got wolves, you got Yorkshire Terriers, you got pit bulls, you got bulldogs, but it's still the same race, all right? I'm trying to break the illusion because union fait la force is what the ancestors told me. Unity makes strength. Union is what they're afraid of. Motherfuckers eliminating the illusion of race itself and realizing the only thing that exists is nationality and culture. That's it. So I own my triggers, and I'm going to show y'all why I was triggered. It's because my culture is demonized, but a white woman gets to go on fucking broad television and talk about it, whereas I would be chastised for it. That is what we're going to talk about today, which is cultural appropriation. And that's why I was triggered, because it is an appropriation of my culture. If the world gave jazz a safe space to practice, believe, commune, you know what I'm saying, then it wouldn't be a problem, right? But when we are called ratchet and ghetto, and they get to do it in Hollywood and it's praised for certain things in our cultures, when we are demonized and belittled, and they get to go and broadcast it and appropriate it, that's where it becomes a problem. So race is the biggest illusion, you guys, because the only race that we have is the human race. We have different species within each race on this planet, and that's what makes us beautiful. So I want to go ahead, before I give y'all the High Priestess, I think I want to save High Priestess energy for the end. Let me give y'all the Hierophant. So I've been channeling Mitochondrial Eve, and she told me that division is the root of all evil. Mitochondrial Eve is a female biological ancestor of humans, the proven mother of all humans, hence why race is an illusion. And colorism has been utilized as the biggest tool towards division. Mitochondrial Eve lived in East Africa about 2,500,000 years ago. For about 2,380,000 of these years, all human ancestors lived the Stone Age life in small groups. They hunted, sought shelter against the same kind of elements, feared the same kinds of predators, had the same sorts of needs, and the same sorts of resources. Another illusion is colonization. Prior to Christopher Columbus' expeditions, the Moors and the tribes of Africa set sails to explore this planet and settled on every inch of it. Hence why there were already people everywhere. The delusion of colonization occurred. And there are peace treaties with indigenous tribes to recognize the fact that the land was already inherited, which further disproves colonization. So the reason why colorism is an illusion is because patience over passion, spirit, any facts that I say are only to bring awareness. A lot of what I'm saying is not new to a lot of you guys, but within me acknowledging my trigger, the ancestors told me, don't be a smart fool. It's time to put the pieces of the information back together. This is not to offend anybody, okay? The reason why colorism is an illusion is because white people are a genetic mutation as a result of evolution. White people only have two origins that cause this evolutionary genetic mutation. The Caucasus Mountain settlers 5,500 years ago and or the European settlers 4,500 years ago. I just want to emphasize the origin of these primates were still African and children of mitochondrial Eve. Unfortunately, the settlers that experienced the extreme climate changes and the lack of sunlight mutated themselves for survival. The white race is only approximately 300 years old. The concept of race was created in the late 15th and early 16th centuries in England. It was then adopted by Thomas Jefferson into American law as a justification for African slavery and native genocide. Prior to this, there was no concept of race, only nationality. Y'all hear me though? White people, black people, those terms are only 300 years old, and slavery is about 400 to 500 years old. Race was created to further divide humanity, you guys. It's one race, the human race. Yes, we're getting there. The brown race is the parent race. We're getting there. We are. We're getting there. But you know, sometimes the Hierophant got to put the facts out there so that the feelings don't get involved. We getting there though. Trust me when I say I'm not biased in this whatsoever, y'all. But I strongly see how division is the root of all evil in every single way, you guys. Because I told y'all in a previous video, for the black community specifically, what if the Moors and the Hebrew Israelites and that nation of Islam came together and sat down at a table? We would be way further ahead than what we are now, but religion is division. That's the reason. It's so many different ways that we've been divided and conquered as a result of this division. So we don't highlight where we are divided, we can never achieve a unity consciousness. In humans, melanin exists as three forms. Eumelanin, which is subdivided further into black and brown forms, phenomelanin, and neuromelanin. Black people have all three types of melanin. 85% of white people lack neuromelanin. There is still 15% of Caucasian people who have all three types of melanin. Neuromelanin gives human beings the ability to connect to the alpha, theta, beta, gamma, and delta brainwaves. Some scientists theorize it is what gives humans the ability to connect to what they call the infinite. This lack of neuromelanin in Caucasian people causes a dominance of phenomelanin. Phenomelanin can be linked to our primal nature and our animalistic prey and predator characteristics. Phenomelanin can be seen in the animal kingdom, how a lion will show no remorse after killing its prey, how the shark has no guilt feeding in the ocean. This is equivalent to the thought process of the barbaric actions of our colonizers. No guilt slaughtering the world because they were not because they weren't inhumane, but they lacked neuromelanin, which made them lack the ability to feel some of the emotions towards what they were doing and connect to some of the consciousness towards what they were doing. So that doesn't make them inhuman. But the genetic mutation that occurred caused neuromelanin to become absent. And that the absence of neuromelanin disconnects us from what scientists believe to be the infinite. Religious text, God. The earth is a negative polarity, making her a feminine charge. And the only reason why nature, the animal kingdom, and our human race has life itself is because we are sun people. And the sun is the positive charge polarity to her creating and sustaining life itself. Without sunlight, us as sun people originally created a separation from source energy and consciousness by the expeditions and the migrations up north. Did we know this was going to occur? Absolutely not, because those migrations and expeditions, a lot of them happened prior to the Ice Age. So a lot of these people got trapped because of the Ice Age. So this is not something that's anybody's fault. You know what I'm saying? I say this all to say that mitochondrial Eve is responsible for every nationality known to man. And we, as her children, populated this globe prior to any one nationality conquering and dividing it. So we, in unison, as the human race, populated this planet before white supremacy deemed that they were superior to other races and nationalities. I wrote that a lot of members in this soul family don't look like me, and I'm just here to say that don't make us any less of a family. If you're curious as to why someone who empowers the Black community so much is resonating deeply within your soul, it's because you may not look like the problem. That don't mean you're still not a part of it. The Black community needs everybody, all of its allies, to inflict the change that we want to see. Because although we may be the most oppressed, there are still many victims of this system that would love to see the same changes that we strive for. There are people in these timelines who are doing the same generational curse breaking that the Black community is doing for our ancestors, for theirs as well. And as someone who truly wants to see change, I recognize there is no division between people seeking the same unity consciousness. Not a color, not a gender, not a religion. It's truly time for us to see how division is the root of all evil. Half of the Caucasian men and women in this soul family resonate so deeply because you are so far away from the problems. A lot of these truths I share about oppression towards in this community, you guys don't resonate with that. But unfortunately, you may look like the people who oppress us. You know what I'm saying? And I get that. And I understand why it's hard to sit there and listen to these truths sometimes. But if I don't say it, somebody else will. You better off staying in a safe space where we could heal and grow and evolve together. I'm just saying. That's just me recommending that. Like, you might as well stay safe while you become enlightened and aware of a lot of these things, right? So this download is just so long. All right, y'all. And I'm here to tell you the reason why you gravitate towards the truth so deeply is because you are a part of dismantling the systems alongside anybody who sees love and not color. These truths are imperative for you and your families because you raise the next generation of freedom fighters with my children as well. And without certain realizations, change can never occur. As much as I bring light to the strongholds on the Black community, we as a community cannot dismantle the system we never created or intended to be oppressed by. It's time to tribe up. We need all allies on deck, fighting for the same cause, realizing how division no longer serves us and separates us further from unity consciousness and our beloved mother, Mitochondrial Eve, okay? So when I see covens combining, when I see us gathering, oh, trust me when I say it's colorful, baby. That's what you melanin is. You melanin further disproves colorism. You melanin pretty much says that Mitochondrial Eve can give birth to a pale thing with beautiful blue eyes and something as dark as charcoal with eyes like brown and beautiful, you know? So you melanin further disproves that we're all supposed to look the same. You melanin is what makes us come into this existence and this experience looking unique to our social tribes, to our nationalities, to our whatever. And they use that to further separate and divide us from realizing that we are still one race. Because if a Black person gives birth to an albino baby, we don't tell that baby that it ain't Black, right? But that's a genetic mutation. If a Black person gives birth to a one-limbed child, do we go and tell that child that it ain't Black? No, but that's still a genetic mutation, you know? So we have to look at the facts and piece the facts together and realize how we've been manipulated by the information that's literally right in front of our faces. So me and my mom have a joke, right? So my mother says that the cure for all racism was Big Mama's titty milk. I can't take her fucking serious. She said that, so my mother's theory is, when you think about it, they fucked up. She said Master fucked up, Jazz. Because Master done gave his kids, that little boy and that little girl, to go suck on Big Mama titty. How the hell is that little boy and that little girl going to grow up to hate Big Mama when Big Mama was the fucking flower of life? Gave that boy life, gave that girl life. And my mother said the elixir, the medication, okay? It was in Big Mama titty milk. So I just wanted to give y'all that little background. She was like, why do you think it's a generation full of white people that don't act like their ancestors? Y'all come from the ones that was drinking Big Mama titty milk, period, poo. It was all the medicine in there. You know, Master done fucked up. He fucked the game up. He didn't realize what he was doing. But she is the flower of life. Whatever neuromelanin that was lacking at the time, y'all got it. She gave it. Replenished. You know what I'm saying? It's just a joke, you guys. But don't take that literal. But I had to give y'all the background, right? So my mom's theory is that her soul came through that breast milk and gave life back to the children of the masters enslaving her. And now they were raised to be the ones helping hide slaves during the Underground Railroad and the ones marrying slaves because they loved Big Mama so much there was no way they could see color again. Or the ones freedom fighting and marching in the streets for African people's rights. I know it's a joke, but I took it real serious because the placenta looks like the tree of life and the female lactation system looks like the flower of life. So what if all it took was her feeding your ancestors to give life back to the lack thereof neuromelanin? And that's why there's a generation full of Caucasian people who are trying to dismantle this system of white supremacy and patriarchy alongside everyone else who's oppressed by it. It's just food for thought, but as much truth as I may share and as much light as I may shed on these injustices and the oppression of the Black community, I don't see modern day white people as an equivalent to their predecessors and ancestors. I see souls. That's Black people included. Just all skin folk ain't fucking kinfolk. All right? I see souls. That's it. That's all. All skin folk ain't kinfolk. All right? So you got to give motherfuckers the opportunity to show you who they really are. Because we're going to get into it when I give y'all high priest energy at the end, high priestess energy at the end. But we not dealing with a race issue. We just proved that we are one race. But we are dealing with beings on this planet. And that's when we get into the ancient Sumerian texts and tablets. And that's when you get into Enki and Enlil. The people that are oppressing us, they come from these multiverses, these omniverses that don't have free will. The reason why Earth is the gem of the universe is because we have something that a lot of other universes don't have, which is free will. Meaning, without any type of order, we still choose to not be overly chaotic. It just further proves the innocence of the human spirit. If you ever wanted to know why the Native Americans were slaughtered and why African people was enslaved, we don't have it in our spirits, y'all. The original human beings, we are made to be childlike. We are made to be innocent. And then these beings came and they taught us technology and weaponry in war. You know what I'm saying? So we're dealing with beings that don't belong on Earth, that are manipulating that law of free will that is only available to humans here in the Milky Way. These beings traveled a long distance and these beings been here for a long time. You hear me? And they know what it's like to have a controlled will. So they get over here. And it's like, it's a playpen. It's freedom. And we're peons in this game, y'all. So that's why they use race to further divide our human race. When all we have is beautiful nationalities and cultures that make us unique as a human race. The lions don't hunt the same as the panthers, right? Right? Even in the species of gorillas. You got the apes, you got the chimpanzees, you got the gorillas, you know what I'm saying? They all don't even hunt the same, mate the same, commune the same. But they're still the same race. This is what divides us. This is why when I even talk about the Black community, white people are triggered because you see yourself further separated from our race. And you are grown so accustomed to seeing the absence of Black culture that when you see somebody who's all the way here for it, sometimes I believe that white people think that the rise of the Black culture in the Black community means the demise of theirs. And I think, because I try to psychoanalyze shit, I think white people might think that when we rise, we'll do exactly to them what they did to us. Maybe that's where the fear is. Of acknowledging the injustices, acknowledging the oppression, bringing light and truth to what is truly going on to the original humans. That's why. We not trying to cause no war, but we do want freedom and we do want peace. And if we shut the fuck up, then we don't get that. You know what I'm saying? And if you shut the fuck up, because in these days and times, man, apathy, Generation Z, apathy can be powerful and dangerous, man. It really can. Because as the Generation Z is so apathetic towards the system, that's what's going to cause them to create their own. You got fucking 17 to 25-year-olds that's straight up entrepreneurs. They ain't never looked for a job fresh out of high school. They didn't want to further indoctrinate their consciousness through college as well. These motherfuckers came into the world. It was the 2000s. The world was supposed to end. 2002, we got 9/11. Then we go into the fucking recession. Then we got fucking all these wars going on. Whereas the 90s and the 80s was a little more bliss. We believed in these motherfuckers because we weren't in the age of information and all of that shit wasn't televised and broadcasted to us. You can't lie to Generation Z. These some real extraterrestrial motherfuckers. These are some people that we need to be looking towards right now because they make that plain as day shit make sense. These niggas is dangerous. But their apathy sometimes is what's going to cause them to stop voting. And now all these redneck southern state motherfuckers that's pro-Trump and shit, they're going to be the ones electing our leaders and our politicians. So I noticed the beauty in their apathy and them creating a system that's going to eventually dismantle the one that we are oppressed by. But I do see how dangerous it can be for them to completely not acknowledge that they are a part of dismantling it as well. They have to still remain aware. That's all. But can we fault them? They came into this generation, world about to end, 9/11, fucking recession. They looking at us like, why the fuck y'all depend on these folk? Why the fuck y'all depend on these people? Why the fuck y'all working for their jobs and going to their schools? That's how they look at us, like we some dummies, y'all. All the Generation Z people I follow, they messages make me feel like the dummy. Because they point out all the broad daylight shit that we couldn't see in the 90s and the 80s because we wasn't in the age of information. You hear me? It's not our faults, but we couldn't see it. War was going on like shit. We didn't see it. Now, the thing about it is they got all these fucking face filters and face recognition. These motherfuckers gonna be able to know you with your back turned. Y'all think they doing this for no fucking reason? No. You're not gonna be able to take a shower or take a shit without them knowing what the fuck you got going on. Period, y'all. That's the direction we going into. But you wanna know the beauty about it? These motherfuckers can't do nothing without us knowing either. This is the polarities of the beautiful creator that we serve. Everything is a perfect plan. We're going into an era where all these black men that was just being slaughtered and killed back in the 80s and the 90s, we didn't see that shit. Now it's in our face. Now we can't deny it. And if you do, that's just pure ignorance now. If you choose to deny certain things, it's purely ignorance in this age of Aquarius now, because we're in the age of information. You can't deny it. It's in your face. So yeah, they want to track us and monitor us and be able to treat us like we numbers and shit. That's okay. Everything they do in the dark comes to light in this age of Aquarius too. And awareness and knowledge is what's powerful, right? Let me finish this download, y'all. I feel like I got sidetracked a little bit and I want to stay on track. So I said, but I'm here to encourage the black community to realize while we are not begging for inclusion, we have to acknowledge any and everyone who is brave enough to heal their generational curses in public alongside with us. I'm calling all the Covens to combine. Bring the fae. bring Aphrodite. Bring... Who am I missing, y'all? Like, why am I not... It's not off the top of the head right now, right? Bring them all, okay? I don't tap into them. Maybe that's why I'm not aware of them. But every energy that y'all ancestors was accustomed to working with and practicing, we need all these energies back on one accord, one sound, one band, one man, one army. Because until that happens, you know what I'm saying? We just looking like separated. It's power in the numbers, right? I said I'm calling all the covens to combine, all the communities to come together with like minds and divine purposes. In order to separate us from their system, we must create our own. Within each and every one of us, in our tribes, we have people who can give us systems of agriculture. Why do y'all think we come here and we study different shit? It's to eventually bring everything into the same pot and bring everything to the same table and make everybody thrive. You hear me? What's so beautiful to me in Haiti, let me just finish that part of the download that I'm going to tell y'all. People, y'all studying agriculture, y'all gonna be the reasons why we got fucking god bodies, because we living off the land and we eating fresh alkaline fruits, vegetables, water, all that good shit, right? We got people who understand the stock market. Y'all gonna be the reasons why we got beautiful systems of banking and everything else like that. We got people who understand spirituality. I'm gonna be the reason why, and Destiny and Mama D and every other one of y'all readers and diviners, we gonna be the reason why we keep ourselves in alignment and keep our spirits right and keep our spirits tight and keep our relationship with the Most High and with the land like this, right? We got people who got systems of architecture. Y'all gonna be the reason why we got new civilizations being built in buildings and schools and churches and all of that, right? So that's why we come here and we study different shit, is to eventually put all this shit back into the pot. Then we got our teachers. Y'all want to know why these teachers is quitting left and right? It's not because they don't love their job. It's not because they're not getting paid enough. These teachers take that job because they really love it and they don't give a fuck what you pay them, because you couldn't pay them something to leave what they love, right? You couldn't pay them more money to stop doing what they're doing. Y'all, we need y'all. I don't know how the fuck y'all gonna do it. I will ask the ancestors for a plan. But we need y'all to take our babies out this fucking system of education. It is the origin of buck breaking as we fucking know it. That 8-hour school system is preparing children for one of two things: for prison or for the workforce, which is still modern day slavery. Because how the fuck we on a floating rock paying for water? We pay for elements and we pay to just breathe and live. That's why I want to go back to Haiti, because all that land is paid for. Once I invest my money into my property, that's paid for. I don't pay nobody for shit. God, we are God's people. This is our land. But they got us paying for our own shit. Y'all, we gotta wake the fuck up and realize how we've been divided and separated, man. So yes, that's why we come here and we study different shit. It's because eventually when we bring it to the community, we don't lack in no arena. You hear me? That's what we have to realize. We have to continue to further educate ourselves. Maybe you use their school systems to eventually remove yourself from it. I'm not denying anybody who chose to educate themselves the right to be proud of that, but they literally give you their system and their knowledge and their ways. That's why in the southern states right now, they're fighting for this critical race theory. Why do black children have to fight to learn about black history? Because white people think that it should just be erased. No, it should not. It's a part of the pain and the trauma that lies in our mitochondria. And y'all gonna have them little black boys and girls walking around here not knowing why they fucked up for real, if we don't bring light and awareness to the things that have happened throughout history. So without unity consciousness, we could never put it all into the pot and start cooking it up. Mitochondrial Eve is asking us all to return back to one mind, one sound, and one body. As much as people may disagree with interracial relationships, I overstand it. Let me tell y'all, if Master stole my grandmother's land from her, and I marry Master's son, guess what? My kids steal that land and inherit that land right on back. Y'all gotta get out y'all feelings when it comes to interracial relationships, for real, and realize the divine mission that's occurring on this planetary body. That's ultimately getting people back to the origin of the human race, or whatever the disconnection of neuromelanin was. It also gives the bloodline the connection back to its origins that needs to heal the DNA. Maybe that's a very spiritual perspective, I get that, but I'm never for integration. Please hear me when I say these things. I'm still not for integration. I believe the world thrives when we recognize nationality versus race. I love going to the city and being able to hit up Chinatown. I do, it's beautiful. I love their culture. I love going to Montgomery County and knowing all my Latino grocery stores and supermarkets gonna get me out the way. I love their culture. I love their nationality. I respect everything about it. So hear me when I say I'm not for fucking integration whatsoever. We don't need a seat at white people's table. The reason why we are the only race in this fucking Americas that's called African American is because their ultimate goal is to separate us from our original culture. Their ultimate goal is to separate us from our original spirituality, our original history, our original traditions. Their ultimate goal is to recategorize us within their nationality, and that deprives black people of their origins. That's why I'm not for integration. I don't believe we need integration to thrive whatsoever. I believe that we deserve the fact that a lot of these cultures derive from black culture should never be appropriated without the safe space to thrive in this world. That's why I was triggered by a white woman representing Miss Haiti and having the opportunity to educate the masses about voodoo, a practice that is close to my heart. And I have a very close relationship with all of those spirits. And it, I mean, we talked about my trigger. It's not about me. It's really not. So I love recognizing culture and nationality and the beauty thereof. Hence why the polarity of interracial relationship has to be the preservation of the black race and promoting black love and healing the black family dynamic between the black man and the black woman. I personally will be a part of that mission, but that doesn't take away from the importance of interracial relationships either. Guys, we live in this pole of duality. God gonna use the dark and the light to get the job done. You hear me? You could like it, you could love it, but you gotta just, you just gotta understand it sometimes. Am I happy that a white woman getting ready to educate people about Haitian spirits, the same Haitian spirits that fought her white ancestors? Make it make sense. No, I'm not. But the ancestors said, put the pieces of the puzzle together, Jazz. And union fait la force. And you wanna know what they told me too? These Loa, these Orishas wouldn't have to choose people that's not of the culture if people within the culture decided to wake the fuck up. Everybody walking around unaware. And the only thing that makes you unawakened is the fact that you're unaware. So these ancestors not waiting on us no more. These Loa, these Orishas, they not waiting on us no more. They like, oh, she got a pure heart. She did some healing work. She got an open third eye. Let me go on over here and give her these upgrades, these downloads, these codes, all of that shit. You could be mad all you want. I could be mad all I want. But the Haitian people are choosing not to wake up. And these spirits, they still got jobs to do. You know? They still got jobs to do. So I'll be a part of the preservation of the black race. But that don't take away from the people who's taking back their land and giving it to their black babies, okay? Taking back their wealth and giving it to their black babies, okay? Taking back their last names and anything associated and attached to it and giving it to their black babies, okay? I see it. I definitely do. I hope we realize that we are stronger together, and as long as we are divided, we have no strength at all. I personally believe the reason why Black Wall Street was unsuccessful is because we had no allies. We could never rebuild ourselves up after those 400 years because we were fighting against the system and they had more weapons than us. But hypothetically speaking, what if their weapons are just the numbers? What if white people not seeing that they're a part of the system and a part of the problem is the only reason why the system thrives? What if every time that you hear some of these truths and the oppressions that occur towards black people further removes yourself from the system that your ancestors created, which further moves you into the healing space and the upgrades and the generational curse breaking that you came here to do, which further unites us as a race as well. I believe white supremacy only thrives because of the numbers and the unawareness that a lot of us have towards how we continuously allow it to exist. Our children prove to us that color does not exist, the way that they coexist amongst each other in this world without us tainting their perceptions, or I call it training, without us training their ass, right? May we all remember what it was like to be childlike and tapped into unconditional love of self and others. And that's my download. That's my Hierophant from me to you. We got 134 people in the building. We only got 90 thumbs up. I do humbly ask when your way in. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment. So in regards to how the high priestess wants to break this down, she wants to make the focus on the fact that we are living amongst beings that don't belong on this planet. Okay? We have been manipulated by beings who have higher octaves of consciousness and information than we do. We are now in the age of information. We are awakening. The original human race is awakening. We are realizing the children of Enlil now. We're noticing that they're the ones with the most power in this world. And we are choosing to now separate ourselves as far away as possible. Okay? Some of y'all have been feeling that urge to get the fuck away from these lands, because I promise you, like I said in the last video, they cannot touch us the closer we are to our home lands. That's why Black people have diabetes and dis-ease and all this other shit, because when your master took your ancestors from your native land and brought you over here, did they bring your diet with you? We not even supposed to eat over here. Did they bring your diet with you? No. That's why we dying off the way that we fucking are. That's why we got sickness and disease the way that we fucking do. Some of us don't belong on certain parts of this globe, period. Some of us are supposed to be closer to ley lines. And me personally, Haiti is on top of tectonic plates. I need that. I need that magnetism. Some of y'all need to be closer to the equator. Some of y'all need to be on red soil, because we are not of this Western hemisphere whatsoever. That's why we don't thrive over here. If some of y'all got back into that sun on a regular, you wouldn't be lethargic. You wouldn't be fatigued. You wouldn't be sleepy. You wouldn't. But you're not from here, and you've adapted to being on this side. The reason why I'm encouraging people to find out where they want to migrate to, y'all, is because their boats wouldn't even fucking make it. You would have Mami Wata, Yemoja. You would have all of these energies. Oya would crush their planes. Yemoja would fuck their boats up. You hear me? Ogu would strike their villages and their tribes. It would just be a specific strike. Be like, how the fuck lightning come from the sky to just this neighborhood? That's why they keep us here. That's why they call you African Americans too. That's why at the moment of birth, they make you sign that child over to their fucking corporation. Understand me when I say, this is our land. They got us paying to live here. They got us paying to drink the water. Y'all really, really look at this shit for what it is. Because like I said, I'm not sharing new information, but have we ever really put it all into perspective to realize that if you ain't free, that's why them ancestors jumped off the fucking ships. They wasn't afraid of death. They gave you a hell so that way you would be, you wouldn't realize that the afterlife was eternal. They subconsciously brewed that hell into your head to give you that spirit of fear. God didn't give us no spirit of fear. She gave us a spirit of conviction and sovereignty. The reason why them ancestors jumped off the ships is because they knew wasn't shit wrong with death. We die every fucking day. Every night you close your eyes and wake up, you die. You die. You have the opportunity to relive now, to rebirth yourself every morning. Ancestors never feared death. It wasn't until they buck broke that hell concept into your head. Now they got you feeling like you gotta live a certain way in order to go somewhere, or in order to not wind up here. Versus just realizing that righteousness is a choice. You don't have to fear a hell or be bribed with a heaven in order for you to be a sovereign human being. You don't. And in the moment you no longer fear hell, you realize that your heaven is supposed to be brought down and experienced right here on earth. They have humanity literally waiting out their lifetimes, waiting to experience heaven. Why we ain't do it yesterday or today or tomorrow? They're robbing you of your freedom as you fucking know it. And the ancestors knew, my nigga, you put me in shackles, I'd rather die than be in bondage. I'd rather die before I'm not free. I'd rather die before I'm not sovereign. That was their choice. They wasn't afraid of death. Because they knew that the only reason why us sun people, us humans are here is to be free. Half of us ain't free. Half of our minds is what's the real slave. So we dealing with beings that manipulate that law of free will. They're not even supposed to be here. They come from planetary bodies that have this controlled will. We're not dealing with white people. We're not dealing with white supremacy for real, for real. But that's how they gotta mask it, and that's how they gotta disguise it, so you never really see. That's why, like, Christians is not really the problem. But it's, y'all see how the Jews use the Christian church to try to make us think that it's that particular religion. The Jews use the Christians to be the missionaries in the African countries, so we think that it's them and that they're the problem. But I want y'all to know, like, all the Abrahamic religions are the same. That's why Abraham is in the Bible and Jesus is in the Quran. Because Judaism came first, then it was Christianity, and then it was Islam. So they talk about each other's prophets because the Abrahamic religions are a trinity. You hear me? So you look at the origin of Christianity and Catholicism. It is Judaism. That's who's the real problem. They mask it as the Christian. Because in every black community, what do you have? You got a Christian church. Go to inner city and show me a black inner city without a bunch of these motherfucking Christian churches. I ain't telling no lies, y'all. So no matter how poor we are, they said they need white Jesus. That's all they need. They don't need good food in their grocery stores. They don't need good books in their schools. But you'll see the best of the best architecture in the inner urban cities be a fucking Christian church on every corner, right? So this Christian church collects tithes on the Sunday. And because they're a nonprofit organization, they give it to the National Bank on a Monday. And that same government loans out billions and millions of dollars to white people and investors that go into these inner cities. Why? Because it's cheap. And they buy it out. And then they build it up. So much so that you can't even afford it no more. So what just happened here? The Christian church used the poor black people to assist their oppressor with kicking their ass out. In that Bible, y'all supposed to be above these systems. In that Bible, this supposed to be y'all land. This is y'all land. Why y'all paying bills? Why y'all paying for elements? Why? Why y'all not fighting for us? Because they work for the system. The church, not religion. I'm not condemning religion. Because some of y'all are followers of Yeshua. Oh, and it shows. You ain't got to tell me twice. I see it on you, baby. That's why I tell y'all, before y'all Bible thump to me, show me how you walk. You would never have to tell me not in that verse or scripture. If I look at you and I see it work, I'm going to be like, oh, shit. The fuck she rereading? Who she pray to? What she work with? Oh, shit. I like that. I ain't never seen it. I ain't never seen it yet. Before you convert me with the scripture, convert me with your actions. That's why I don't teach y'all about African traditional religion, because I'd rather y'all see something on me, within me, around me. Y'all see it all the time when I'm giving messages. I'm talking to a little helper on the left and a little helper on the right. I watch my readings back and I'm like, who the fuck do I be looking at? This all Jazz do during the reading. All right, got it good. Bet. All right, heard you clear, loud and clear. Roger that, roger that. That's all the fuck I'm doing. I'm consulting with the ancestors. Half of y'all sought African traditional religions not because I taught you, not because I converted you, not because I gave you a word to follow and a script to believe in. Y'all seen something and was like, where them ancestors at? I like that. I like that shit. I like that. It works. It works, you know? So that's all I'm saying. May the Christian church show us Their works, faith without works is dead. I don't see these Christian churches in the urban communities helping these poor people. I don't see them paying that black woman's bills and she got 4 or 5 kids. I see them letting electricity and gas bills go off. Help. They're helping the further oppression, okay? And that's where we have a problem, man. That's why religion is division. Because we not in that shit to help one another. That's where it becomes an issue. Did I do this justice? I hope I did. We 50 minutes and I just feel like, all right, Jazz, it's time to bring it home now. Wrap it up, wrap it up, wrap it up. I do not see modern day white people as an equivalent to their ancestors, man. We see souls out here. So show people who you are and give people the opportunity to show you who they are. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I have a Caucasian woman in my life who is changing my life, and she further makes me realize how blindsided we can be by shit like black and white. My yogi master right now, yo, like, this woman changed my life. She changed my whole practice, man. My whole entire yoga practice changed my life. So this woman coming into my life, flipping my yoga practice like this, come on now. We one race. But what we can't do is not leave room for the black culture while everybody else's culture gets to be alive and thrive. When the majority of these cultures have origins within the black culture. That's where it gets tricky, you guys. So that's why we not tripping when y'all wear braids if we weren't losing our jobs for it. We not tripping when y'all wear faux locks if our little boys wasn't getting kicked off sports teams for it. Y'all see where it gets tricky, right? Because the world don't have a safe space for black culture. We not tripping when y'all got missionaries in our country, but let me and my whole tribe go stand in front of the Vatican and say, hey, the Orisha told me they coming. You need to get it together. It's time to convert. They said y'all praising false gods. Y'all, we don't have room to even be missionaries because our religions and our spirituality has been demonized. We ain't got no fucking culture in this world. Y'all, I'm trying to show y'all why cultural appropriation hurts. That's why it hurts us. That's why I was triggered. We don't have room to be black. We can be black Americans, right? We can be black people in America and adopt it to American culture. But we don't got no room on a global scale to embrace our history. Because all of our fucking artifacts are sitting in their museums right now. You know, some of y'all got bloodlines that if y'all touch that shit, it activates. That's why they stole it and kept it from you. Because they knew that. They burned down the Museum of Alexandria on purpose. That museum had a piece of literature from every part of the globe. Ancient Egypt documented everybody's religion, everybody's history, for the purposes for us. When we grew thousands of years later, we would always have access to it. Y'all think when they burned that shit down, they didn't take what they needed? The Freemasons took everything that they needed. That's why we're under the spells that our ancestors left for us. The fuck? We are literally under the spells that the ancestors left for us to use, being manipulated. Why do you think bitches like me get to tap out of it? Motherfuckers like y'all get to snap out of it. How the fuck you gonna put me under my ancestors' spell? You hear me? Can't do me like that. The fuck? You know, like, come on now. They took everything they needed. They was like, all right, I'm taking this. Oh, hell yeah, we gonna use that. Oh, 50,000 years from now, my children need this right here. Oh, color it. This how you... Little frog leg, cat eye, got it. All right, bet. Like, I'm trying to tell y'all that's what they did. That's why we snapping the fuck out of it. Can't use my ancestor shit on me. The fuck? You can't. You just can't. You really can't. And if y'all ever thought that they gonna give you the tools, come Come on, common sense. Y'all think the world gonna teach y'all everything y'all come to us to get? Y'all think they gonna single-handedly give you the tools and the knowledge and the resources and the awareness to undo what they did? Mm-mm. That's why I look at the spirit of fear for what it is. God didn't give us that fucking spirit. That spirit belongs to this dimension. You hear me? So when it's mass shootings, and when it's pandemics, and when it's deaths, first of all, you use children, you invoke the globe. Not a man, not a woman out here don't have a soft spot for them. They utilize that spirit of fear to keep you from that spirit of conviction. What do you really see? What's really going on behind the scenes, y'all? It's a whole lot of division. So when I see us praying and dancing and praising, oh, it's colorful, baby. It's very colorful. And that's what's powerful, okay? It's the fact that we all get to come together with the same like mind. I don't give a fuck who you pray to and how you do it. You either going to teach me or I'm going to watch you. The fuck? I'm going to take notes. That don't make you any less of a human being than me. You hear me? It don't. And do you see the panthers and the lions and the tigers fighting? Nope. Do you see the gorillas and the apes and the chimpanzees fighting? Nope. Do you see the pit bulls and the American bulldogs and the German shepherds fighting? Nope. You don't. They just coexist. One race, different expressions of it, right? So let's not drag it. I think we did it justice. I hope we did it justice. I hope I was able to touch y'all in a way to further dismantle division being the root of all evil. I know that download was long. I just hope it was dissectable. You know what I'm saying? If I pull cards, I love reading. I may come back later on for a love reading, but I don't think this needs no cards. We could leave this right where it is. All praises due to the Most High. Shout out to the ancestors for guiding me through the message. And I send y'all all the love, all the peace, all the light, and all the blessings. Until next time, so fast.